Leo loved maps. He loved stories of explorers and lost worlds. He dreamed of finding a place no one had ever seen before, a place of wonder and mystery. One afternoon, Leo explored the local library. He liked the dusty smell of old books. It felt like stepping back in time. He wandered between the shelves, looking for something interesting. A flash of gold caught his eye. It came from a book tucked away on a high shelf. Leo stood on his toes and reached for it. The book was bound in leather and felt ancient. Inside, a map was drawn on a faded piece of parchment. It showed a winding path through forests, over mountains and into the clouds. At the top, a city seemed to float in the sky. "The Lost City of the Sky," the caption read. The map called to Leo. He felt a thrill of excitement. This was the adventure he'd been waiting for. He checked out the book, eager to learn more. At home, Leo studied the map carefully. It showed landmarks and symbols he didn't recognize, but he was determined to decipher them. He spent days researching ancient cultures and forgotten languages. Slowly, the map's secrets began to reveal themselves. The landmarks matched real places, though some were hidden or had changed over time. The symbols seemed to be clues, guiding the way to the lost city. Leo knew he had to go. He packed his backpack with supplies and a compass. He told his family he was going on a camping trip. He couldn't tell them the truth, not yet. The first leg of Leo's journey led him into a dense forest. Sunlight struggled to penetrate the thick canopy of leaves. Strange birds called out, their songs both beautiful and eerie. Leo followed the map's path, his heart pounding with anticipation. He used his compass to navigate and his wits to avoid danger. He encountered wild animals and treacherous terrain, but he pressed on. Days turned into nights. Leo slept under the stars, listening to the sounds of the forest. He felt small, yet connected to something vast and ancient. The forest tested his courage and resourcefulness, but it also filled him with awe. Finally, Leo reached the edge of the forest. Ahead of him rose a towering cliff face, its sides sheer and unforgiving. The map showed a hidden path, but finding it would be no easy task. The cliff seemed impossible to climb. Leo searched for the hidden path, his eyes scanning the rock face. He remembered a clue from the map, something about a shadow falling at midday. He waited patiently until the sun reached its zenith. A narrow ledge was revealed, shrouded in shadow for most of the day. It was the hidden path, just as the map had indicated. Carefully, Leo made his way onto the ledge. The rock was slippery, and the drop below was dizzying. But Leo clung on, his determination fueled by the promise of the lost city. He climbed for hours, each step a victory against the daunting height. His muscles ached, and his hands were scraped, but he refused to give up. The view from above became more breathtaking with every foot he ascended. Finally, he pulled himself up onto a plateau. He had conquered the cliff. Ahead of him lay a vast mountain range, its peaks shrouded in mist. The lost city was closer now, but the journey was far from over. Section 5. The Mountain's Heart. The mountains were treacherous. The air was thin, and the paths were narrow and winding. Leo battled snowstorms and icy winds as he climbed higher. He faced his fears head-on. He learned to trust his instincts and rely on his strength. The mountains tested him physically and mentally, pushing him to his limits and beyond. As he climbed, he noticed strange carvings on the rocks. They seemed ancient, depicting symbols similar to those on the map. Leo realized they were more clues, guiding him towards the lost city. He followed the carvings, deciphering their meaning as he went. They led him through hidden passes and treacherous slopes, each challenge bringing him closer to his goal. Finally, he reached a mountain peak, higher than any other. A sense of awe washed over him. He had never seen such beauty, such raw power, and yet he knew he was not alone. The presence of the lost city was close, almost tangible. Section 6. Secrets in the Sky. The map showed the final clue. At the highest point, the setting sun would reveal the entrance to the lost city. Leo waited patiently as the day drew to a close. The sky erupted in colors as the sun dipped below the horizon. And then he saw it, a faint shimmering in the air like a mirage. But this was no illusion. As the last rays of sunlight faded, a doorway materialized out of thin air. It seemed to be made of pure light, ethereal and beckoning. This was the entrance to the lost city of the sky. Taking a deep breath, Leo stepped through the doorway. The air around him shimmered and swirled. He felt a sense of weightlessness, as if he were floating. When his vision cleared, he gasped in amazement. He stood in a city unlike any he had ever seen, a city floating amidst the clouds. Section 7. The Library of Whispers. The city was breathtaking. Buildings made of shining marble and shimmering crystals soared into the sky. Waterfalls cascaded from impossible heights, their waters sparkling like liquid diamonds. But the city was eerily silent. There were no people, no animals, no signs of life. It was as if time had stood still. Leo explored the city with a sense of wonder and trepidation. He wandered through grand halls and empty marketplaces, his footsteps echoing in the stillness. He discovered a magnificent library, its shelves filled with countless scrolls and books. The air was thick with the smell of old parchment and forgotten knowledge. This was a treasure trove of wisdom, the collected knowledge of a lost civilization. Leo felt a sense of responsibility to preserve and protect it. Section 8. A Choice to Make. In the center of the library, Leo found a pedestal. Upon it rested a small, unassuming box. It was plain and unadorned, yet it seemed to pulse with power. He knew instinctively that this was the artifact spoken of in legends, the artifact that granted its possessor unimaginable power. Leo reached out and touched the box. Images flooded his mind. He saw the rise and fall of civilizations, the ebb and flow of power. He saw the potential for both great good and terrible destruction. He realized that true power lay not in possessing the artifact, but in understanding it. The knowledge he had gained on his journey was more valuable than any magical object. Section 9. Wisdom's Echo. Leo made his choice. He closed the box and stepped back. He would not take it. He would not be corrupted by its power. He had come to the lost city seeking adventure, and he had found it. But he had also found something far greater: wisdom. He spent days studying in the library, absorbing as much knowledge as he could. He learned about history, philosophy, science and magic. He learned about the mistakes of the past and the potential of the future. When it was time to leave, he felt a pang of sadness. But he knew he couldn't stay. The lost city was a place of peace and reflection, not a place to be ruled or exploited. Section 10. The Journey Home. Leo retraced his steps, leaving the lost city as he had found it, untouched and undisturbed. He descended the mountains, crossed the cliffs and navigated the forest. He returned home a changed person. He was still Leo, but he was also someone more. He carried within him the wisdom of a lost civilization and the memory of an extraordinary adventure. He shared his stories with the world, inspiring others to seek knowledge and adventure. He used his newfound wisdom to make the world a better place, one step at a time. And though he never revealed the location of the lost city, he knew it would always be a part of him, a reminder of the power of curiosity, courage, and the enduring allure of the unknown.